Hi girls, welcome to this next little screencast Independent Research Project website. The website's been shared with you via Edmodo, and you are going to get just a short little guided tour through the process of conducting your research project. The methodology that we'll be using in class is called project-based learning, and we'll be following each of the steps in the project very briefly just to give you an overview. So probably the first really important thing, girls, that you should do is familiarise yourself with the website, and also making sure that you have at your elbow the task sheet and also your syllabus as well. They're really two important items that you should have as you work through this process. There are two things that you'll be doing here in the next 7 or 8 weeks as you conduct your project. The first is that you'll be making some notes along the lines of the syllabus, and you can see here there's a link to the syllabus document. And the second thing that you'll be doing is the conduct of the research for the research project. So this site is designed hopefully with that in mind and to help you to work your way around this site. There are some resources that I'll point out for you. So probably your jumping off point here on the home page is the 6-step guide to working through your research. You can see step 1 through to step 6 is illustrated there for you, and each of these steps are linked to the requisite page, so it makes it quite easy for you to jump around as you're completing each of the steps of the research project. So the first part of the research project is the entry event, and the entry event are a list of resources as you scroll down the page to help you design your question and your hypothesis. And the resources are here just for you to look at and to review and read as you read the information. And as you start to watch some of the videos, you will start to recognize there are certain themes that appear in your research. So it's really important that once you start to identify these themes in your research, that you move to the literature review, and you've already conducted literature review in the preliminary course, and the purpose of the literature review is to get you to read as widely as you can, and that's a really important part of this this whole process. As you're reading widely, you should be noting the sources, and you should be keeping a nice reference list as you work through the literature review itself. Once you have conducted the literature review and you've worked through your questions, then you will write what we refer to as your driving question and your hypothesis, and then you will pull together your research proposal, and the research proposal then will be presented to the class in the form of that Ignite presentation. And all of the resources that you require for each of these sections, as you can see, are posted on the website for you, and you can see there that there are questions for you to reflect on, and there are a number of links as well to help you. So for example, there's a smart guide here that will open up in the new tab, which is a document that just gets you to consider your research proposal and your reflection, and there's a number of questions there to actually guide your research. So my advice to you is to become familiar with the website, become familiar with the terminology in the website, to have a look at each of the resources as you begin to work. And my plan really for you is that you would return to the home page to link out to each of the pages. You have access to each of the benchmark activities. Benchmark 1, for example, benchmark 2, the infographic, is available there for you. And on the project page itself, what you will find is the task notification, the need to know, the next steps, and instructions for setting up your blog, which I describe for you as part of the assessment task. So very important things, girls, that you need to do. What you will do in the conduct of this research project is that you'll be making some notes for yourself, and you'll find at the top of all the pages where it is relevant to do so, that the syllabus, learn tos and learn abouts have been clearly illustrated there for you, and your job then is to make some notes using the resources as you work through. So you'll find activities built around the syllabus points, sampling, types and sources of data, for example, research methods, validity and reliability, etc., etc. So it's important that as you work through each of these steps or each of these stages, that you make your notes, and at points in time your teachers will stop and they'll give you some past HSC questions, for example, and gather some information from you with respect to how you're travelling. So by the end of this study, you will have a set of notes for your HSC exam, and those notes will also help you with your project development as well. So to kick off your PBL experience, begin with the homepage, read the information that is presented there for you. Make sure that you have a copy of your syllabus at hand, that you're familiar with the steps in the research project. And once you've read the homepage, then your job is to start on the project itself. And the project will give you each of the steps that you need to follow each time. So once you've completed this particular page, my advice is to go back to the homepage and then to complete step 2, and you'll find the links are active as you hover over each of these particular links, which will take you to the appropriate page. If you have any questions with regards to the conduct of the research, the website, etc., can you please post them out on Edmodo for us to answer. If you find that a document doesn't open or a link isn't quite opening, if you alert us to that straight away so we can fix those things for you, so we don't waste a lot of time in the conduct of this particular research is really important. You'll find also on the right hand side that there is a menu with each of the pages there listed, so that you'll be able to navigate this particular project quite easily. But my advice again is to go back to the home page and to use each of the steps in the process in order for you to complete the project and also make yourself some reasonable notes. For those of you in my class, for example, we have been using the Cornell note-making method consistently this year in this HSC course, so it'd be worthwhile maybe to recap on the note-making method and to use the resources as you work through to create your own notes for research methodology. So have fun with it, girls. I'd like some feedback, obviously your feedback with respect to the content and the presentation of the website, and you can post those comments onto Edmodo. As I mentioned before, if you have any questions with regards to kicking off the project, that you can post those out on Edmodo, and we'll try and answer them as quickly as we can for you. Hopefully this has been quite a useful little guide to the Independent Research Project website, and good luck in your study. Thank you for listening to this little screencast.